my dear students, welcome back to today's physics class, and today we are going to discuss about factors affecting friction. That means we already learned that the main causes of friction. When we discussed about the causes of friction, that means irregularities in the surface may leads to frictional force or friction. And now we are going to discuss about what are the factors which affects the friction. Okay, so we already know that the friction is an opposing force and it acts between the surface in contact with each other, right? There be a contacts of surface. That means there is not only one surface, more than one surface. So first factor which affects the friction, that is nature of surface in contact with each other. Okay, so first factor is the nature of surface. First factor is nature of surface. Okay, nature of surface in contact with each other. And this surface we can consider, or we can explain this surface, nature of surface in two aspects. That aspects are rough surface and smooth surface. Okay, two aspects we can discuss the nature of surface, that are smooth surface and rough surface. First we can discuss about the rough surface. If the surface is rough, then when we were discussing about the causes of friction, I told you that this surface is not always smooth, sometimes it will be rough, and that roughness, if the surface is rough, in that case valleys and humps will be there, right? So if the surface is rough, then there will be more friction. That means rough surface offer more friction than the smooth surface. Smooth surface also offer the friction, but the frictional force is less in smooth surface compared to the rough surface. That's why we may easily slip when we are walking on a smooth floor, like the floor is made with tiles or marbles and all. It may have very less friction. That's why that slipping tendency will be more. Okay, so the nature of surface we can consider in two aspects, that are smooth and roughness. This friction increases with roughness and decreases with the smooth. If the surface is smooth, then frictional force will be less, and if the surface is rough, then frictional force will be more, because of large amount of valleys and hills present in the present on the surface. So that is the first part. And second one, we can consider weight of the object. Second factor which affects the friction, that is weight of the object. Okay, weight of the object. Actually, on a horizontal surface, the weight of an object is directly proportional to the frictional force. That which means direct proportion is there. When there is a direct proportion, weight increasing time, friction also will increases. Weight decreasing time, friction also will decreases. In that means I already told you that in an horizontal surface, the weight of an object is directly proportional to the frictional force. So weight of an object we can consider as W, and friction we can consider as M. Direct proportion. This is the proportionality sign. Then weight is directly proportional to friction. Actually it is force. Force is denoted by friction. Force is denoted by the letter F. Here this F, for your understanding only I written this F. Weight is directly proportional to the frictional force. Okay. So in that case, so frictional force we can write F of frictional force in short. Okay, so frictional force, weight increasing time, frictional force also will increases, and weight decreasing time, frictional force will decrease or increase. Yes, it will decrease. Okay, so these are the two factors which affects the frictional force. that is nature of surface and weight of the object. Okay, and that nature of the surface we can explain with the help of an activity. In your textbook already here it is given one activity. For that activity we need some substances or some objects we required for doing that activity. So that okay, so the things required for do this activity that are book and wooden board, wooden tables, pencils, cloth and sand. Okay, these things we required for doing this activity. And here also you can see how can we do this activity. First we have to make an inclined plane by using this wooden board and book. Here also you can see it. And what we need to do, first is we consider the wooden table itself, and in your textbook it's marked at the top of the wooden board is marked A. From that A position we just allow a pencil to move down. Okay. Okay, we allow the pencil to move down from the point A. Okay, so that time we can see that then we have to measure the distance covered by the pencil from the point A before coming to rest. Okay, distance covered by the pencil from the top of the inclined plane to that before that pencil is coming to rest. That distance we have to measure. Okay, and second case we have to use a cloth, normal cloth we have to placed on this wooden table. Here also you can see placed on a wooden table. Then what we have to do, the same activity, same way, and we should not change the inclined plane or no other changes, only we place the cloth on the table. Okay, so again we do the same activity. So that time also we have to allow the pencil to move down from the point A, and we have to measure the distance covered by the pencil from A to the rest position. How much distance it covered. Okay, that also we have to measure. And the third case, we have to place the sand on the table and do the same activity again. So that time also you can see here some distance it covered. So compare the distance. First case we can see that the pencil covers more distance, and second case when we are using the cloth, so that time it also it covers some distance but it is less than the first case. And the third case we can see that very less distance that pencil covers. Okay, so why it happens like that? Because of the force of friction exerted in these three surfaces are different. In the first case we can consider it is a smooth surface. That wooden table we can consider it as a smooth surface. In that smooth surface that force of friction is very less. That's why that pencil can move in a large distance. Okay, that's why this pencil can covers more distance. And in second case when we are using this cloth, what happened? That pencil covers some distance but not like in the first case, right? So that means this much smooth as the first case. That surface is little bit rough. Okay, that's why that pencil stops fastly or stop after or within little only little distance it covers this pencil. That is because of this cloth opposes the motion of our pencil. Okay, so frictional force is more in cloth compared to the first case. And the third case when we are using the sand, what happens there? In that case that pencil covers with least distance. Why? Because this sand is act as a rough surface, and this rough surface offer more frictional forces. So that friction, frictional force is an opposing force. So it opposes the movement of this pencil. So that's why this pencil can't able to cover much distance like in the first or second cases. Okay, so we can say that in this activity we consider three different surfaces. Okay, nature of surface are different in each case. So the first case it is smooth, and second one it is not smooth or not too rough. Okay, medium, right? And last third case, when we are using the sand, that time the surface was rough. So that frictional force is more in the third case. That's why this pencil can't able to cover more distance. Are you clear about this activity? So that means friction, which means that and in this case only there is a difference in the surface. All other things we use the same pencil and same inclined planes. Means inclined planes means in the sense from that point A only we are we are allowing the pencil to move down. So no other changes, only there is a change in surface. Because of the change in surface, we see that. So we can say that in that activity, only because of the change in the surface, this kind of force of friction, it offers different in different surface. So that we proved our first factor which affects the frictional force, that means nature of surface. If the surface is different, then the frictional force that offering is also will be different. Rough surface have more friction and smooth surface have the least friction or less friction. Okay, and our next topic is fluid friction. Our next topic is fluid friction. In this fluid friction, we can say that till now we were discussed by using these activities and all, we learned that we discussed mainly the solid surface offer the frictional force when a solid object is moved over it. Like in the case of pencils, pencil is a solid object and that surface, it is a solid surface. So that we means in all this discussion we had discussed like that only. That means the solid surface exert a force when a solid object is moved over it. Okay. Not only this solid surface, when we consider about these liquids and gases, also exert the frictional force when a solid objects move over them. That frictional force is considered as fluid friction. Okay, fluid friction means that the liquids and gases which produces or these liquids and gases exert a frictional force when a solid objects move over them. That is considered as fluid friction, and then like this frictional force exerted by the fluid is called drag. Okay, so that means we discussed the next topic. Actually our topic is fluid. Okay, fluid friction. In this fluid friction means that other than not only solid surface, liquid surface and the gaseous surface also exert a frictional force when a solid object is moved over them. Okay, that is considered as fluid friction, and the frictional force exerted by the fluid is considered as drag. Frictional force exerted by the fluid is considered as drag. And now we can discuss about how this frictional force or how this frictional force affects in the case of water and air. First we can discuss in the case of water. That means normally we know that water is also exerting a frictional force, that already we discussed it here, that is fluid friction or drag, that we already discussed with some example. This concept it will be that we can explain with the help of various daily life situation. Okay, So when normally we know that we all are interested to do swimming, right? Here also you can see a picture. In this picture, a person, he is swimming. At that time he is moving in forward direction. Okay, his direction of motion in forward, but you can see that frictional force is acting against his motion, or that frictional force, actually here that solid object is that person. Okay, solid object that we can consider that person who is swimming. Okay, and the liquid means this water exerting a frictional force. Frictional force is an opposing force that opposes this motion of this person. Okay, so when that person is moving in forward direction, then which direction will be the frictional force or fluid friction? It will be in the opposite direction of his motion, right? Yes, and at the same time, this is one of the example, and that time you remember one more thing, and that time if he applied more, or his applied motion is more than the frictional force given by this liquid, then what will happen? He can move forward direction. Okay, and in our case we know that while we have to put some effort, or we have to apply more force to swim. While swimming time we are applying more force for our movement and all, right? We are also exerting the force, that's why we can move forward. Is it right? Yes. Okay, and one special type of body or an object around a fluid can move is considered as streamlined body. Streamlined body is a special kind of body shape which which makes the frictional force minimum in water or air. That body structure is considered as streamlined body. For example, when we consider about the fish, okay, and that fish shape is actually, its shape is streamlined body. That shape of body is considered as a streamlined body. When I told about this streamlined body, you maybe have some confusion about it. Okay, so when I am saying the examples, then means you will be more understanding. The structure of fish, did you ever notice or not? That means in the structure of fish, that structure is considered as a streamlined shape or streamlined body. That means its shape is like, its front side it is rounded and back side is at the back it will be narrow. So it offers minimum friction. That means this fish is a solid object. When it's moved over the water, frictional force will be there. So to minimize the frictional force exerted by the water, this body shape helps them to move easily in water. Okay, and at the same time, when we consider the subbodies of ship and boats also, it's like a streamlined body, front side and back side, means that shape you just remember. That shape offer very less amount of frictional force in water. Okay, now we can discuss the fluid friction in air. Okay, like this streamlined bodies we can use, or the streamlined bodies. Normally in the air we can see the birds are flying or moving in air, right? So while its movement time, this air is exerting an opposing force in their movement, but to avoid this or minimize this opposing force, their body also like a streamlined shape. Okay, so this streamlined shape offer very less fluid friction or very less frictional force in air, and at the same time bullet trains and aeroplanes and bullet trains also, their body also we can consider like a streamlined shape, and it also helps, that streamlined shape helps them to move without or to minimize this frictional force in air. Okay, because of this streamlined body of this aeroplane and bullet train, they experience a very less frictional force in their surrounding. So these bullet trains and aeroplanes, they feel or they experience a very less frictional force when they are moving through the air. So that's all about today's class. Now let's conclude our class. In today's class, in the beginning, we discussed about the factors affecting the friction. Then we learned there are two factors are there that are mainly affecting the force of friction, that are nature of surface in contact with each other and weight of the object. Nature of surface, we discussed about the two aspects, smooth surface and rough surface. The frictional force increases with increasing roughness, and in the smooth surface it has very less amount of frictional force. Then weight of the object is actually, it is directly proportional to the frictional force, which means that weight increasing time frictional force also will increases, weight decreasing time frictional force also will decreases. Okay, then we learn that fluid friction, and means other than the solid surface, liquids or gases can also exert a frictional force when a solid object is moved over it or move over them. That is considered as fluid friction, and the frictional force exerted by the fluid is also termed as drag. Okay, then that fluid friction we discussed in the case of that means only in the case of water and air. Both the cases separately we discussed and its example also we learned, right? And hope you all are clear about this topic, and that's all about today's class. Thank you.